I'm Liam.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Chasing the Whimsy. I am Ben and you just heard Liam. How you doing, Liam?
Good.
Very
Just
cool.
got done eating.
Very nice. Very late start for us. We got bedtime in like 8 minutes. So, if your mom asks, it's
8 o'clock.
It's 8 o'clock.
It's 8 o'clock.
It's not 10:30. So, we had a fantastic day today. For the most part. Like I had to 2 weeks in a row in which we had a fantastic time. Would you agree?
Yeah.
It was a good time. We'll get into that. But before we do that, your week. What did you do this week?
Wrestling a little bit. Like a lot of wrestling, actually.
You're doing like 3-week practices?
Well, 2 practices a week, Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay. And then do you do weight training outside of that?
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay. So 2 wrestling and then personal training.
Well, no, I have a weight class in school, so I do that. My max for 1 rep was 240.
On what lift?
Squat.
You squatted how much?
240.
Nice.
It was just a 1 rep max, so it's not that big of a deal.
This family's good with the legs, man. I used to work out a little bit.
Used to. Key.
Dude, I'm a mess, dude, right now. Like, I hate it. I can't even do a pull-up. Every time he takes over to the park, I'm always like, I wish I could do monkey bars again. Like, and I just can't. Like, and I hate everything about me that says I can't do monkey bars.
It's funny. David brought up something when we were setting up our Christmas tree as it sucks to be old because like it seems like every other day you're getting hurt.
Yeah.
He said like just like getting like out of bed or just even simple things are just like hurting.
Like, and it's weird. And it's so funny because I'm like, I talked to a couple of people. I'm like, should I be stretching or like doing some kind of like exercise or something? And they're like, yeah, your body's shutting down, man. And I'm like, oh, that explains why everything like hurts when I move, like David's mentioning.
See, like I feel like for you it's just cardio.
I think it's because I sit or stand all day. I don't do anything active anymore. I think you need to get
in that. Yeah, I lack cardio.
I think we should just walk around the block.
Right now?
No.
Pause the podcast.
Yeah. We'll just do it after the podcast when it's 8:30 and
yeah.
not midnight. You guys already have your Christmas tree up?
Did yesterday.
Mom's has been up for like a week. I think
she loves Christmas though, so
she's so funny.
Her tree is fake, so it's probably easier to set up.
Yeah, but she has a system, and she's done it for the last like 10 years ish, I think. Where it's Thanksgiving.
Did she change my ornament?
I don't know yet.
I feel so bad.
We have to ask her.
It was because it was what was it before? It was something before
trains, I think, at one point.
It was a train. Then it went from baseball, and then now I'm like, oh, quit
wrestling. So my mom, grandma, she loves she loves ornaments. So she has everybody gets a personalized ornament. So every time one of our hobbies change, like Liam was mentioning, is trains and then baseball, and now wrestling. So now she has to go out and buy a wrestling.
Yours is still the piano, and you haven't played the piano for what you say, like 10 years.
But I still love the piano.
You wish you could play.
Yeah, I'm just not good at it.
It should be like a phone, like a Pokemon on it.
Oh, maybe if we could put Pokemon on the keys. And then I could be like...
Okay, you're making her work too hard. She's been playing with the AI generator too much.
Right. So, yeah, Mom's already got hers up. So it's Thanksgiving, and then Friday, tree's up. And she loves it. And then she's already starting wrapping, and presents already started going under there and stuff.
Because she asked me for presents in March.
Yeah. So
it's crazy. Christmas is over. What do you want next year?
Right. It's like, I still have a birthday coming up. She's like, nah, we'll worry about that later. So, all right. So wrestling. We'll get back on track. Wrestling.
Tuesday, Thursday.
What are we learning? We doing anything?
You know the John Cena move,
The
attitude adjustment.
shoulders up, throw down.
We're learning that, but like the actual wrestling move. So it's called a fireman's carry.
Do you actually put people on your shoulders?
So you know how you take like a normal shot, right?
Okay.
Then you hold on to their thing,
Okay.
and then you turn this way. Oh, sorry, that was my son.
Like
Great.
everybody. Okay.
You turn this way, and then like you want to hear the audio,
Okay.
and then you just you hold on, you let go, and then they're on their back right now, and then you got to circle around and almost kind of hold them down so you can pin them.
Okay. So it's not like a full like lift them press above your head. It's a kind of like just a nice, it's like a snap move to kind of just throw them back up on from like one side to the other back onto the back.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Hang on, I got it for you.
Are you noticing? So you're starting to get more physical as you kind of move up in years. Like you're now closer to like a varsity. Oh, okay. Oh, it is literally the attitude adjustment, but
The actual move,
you're not standing up. You kind of bend down and
not
shift over.
pro wrestler.
Right. All right. That looks pretty sick. I want to see you do that.
I'm pretty good at it too.
When are we going to be competing?
Next November, because I'm gonna be going into my high school season.
Next November. Like 11 months from now?
12 months from now. Season just started last Saturday.
Okay. So you'll be doing. I gotcha. So next year you're going to be doing the
High school season.
high school season.
Because this is how my schedule goes. It goes Monday, go to school, chill. Tuesday, practice, hang out with friends and Fortnite. Wednesday, go to the high school duel, because I want to go and support because they did the same for me.
Mhm.
Thursday, wrestling practice, same thing. Friday, call my girlfriend, staying up till 5. Saturday, notice I didn't answer call dad once in there. Saturday, sleep in really big. It's the holiday season, so kind of doing a lot of stuff with friends and family. And then Sunday,
You're disgusting. Your mom has to set an alarm to make sure you get up on time, so I'm not sitting in front of your driveway for like an hour.
she had to yell at me this morning.
I know. I even take my time getting to you now. I even buy you breakfast on the way instead
Next
of
week,
like.
I have to lose weight, so if you can't buy me breakfast next week, we have to go grocery shopping next week.
All right. All right. Don't have to feed Liam anymore. Okay. All right. So very cool. I'm excited to see and hear more about the wrestling stuff. So keep us updated on how you're doing. Any other new moves? If you ever have to like attitude adjust anybody, I'd like to see that video. That'd be cool.
There's like 30 other moves I can show you after the podcast.
Man, I can't wait until we're like able to like record you, and then it's just going to be like you doing moves on me, and then
I've already developed so much since season, going 10-0. Like, it's funny. My coaches like pointed out how since season it feels like I've became a better wrestler after it.
right.
Because I will admit I wasn't varsity, and I've worked so hard to try and maybe get to varsity, and then watching my team win the championship without me kind of boosted me a little bit to push harder
All right.
and be better than everybody else.
Well, that's what's interesting is I'm pretty sure I told you at some point was I think when you were like I don't remember what it was that you were playing and why your mom, always kept trying to keep moving you up in baseball into like a higher caliber is you can dominate in Little League, or if you stayed in JV or in the 7th and 8th grade, you could dominate them. And it's only when you start pushing yourself to the bigger ones where people are actually like where you might actually lose is that's when you start elevating your game. It's like, oh, these guys are easy. I can go 10, 15, 30 and 0. But it's like you almost want to find that opportunity where you go like 13 and 2 Because then that way
I would be fine with not winning one match but still being varsity.
as long as they pushed you.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want the easy wins. Make me work for it. That's how you get to varsity. And it's interesting that you have that because some kids would rather take the easy win.
And see, there was football players, and I like to observe a lot with my stuff, and then I like to talk to the coaches like after the meet. So, first meet of the junior high season, Coach Michaels, I was talking to him after it, and he was like, I was like, "Can you tell the football players have big egos?" And he's like, "Yeah, we knew that anyways." And it was like, you can tell when football players become wrestlers and when football players are wrestlers.
Okay.
So like, I'm just gonna not say his name, but there was this kid.
Kid X.
Yeah. Went 22-3.
Okay.
And he's like, he thought he was so good, and my last match of the season,
Strutting, yeah.
my last match of the season, there was no other kids because no one wanted to face me. Yeah. I had to face him, and he had a big ego, and he's like, yeah, I'm strong, and just I out wrestled him, and like the egos of some kids you can tell,
Right.
and then you can tell the kids who are actually pushing themselves,
Right.
because like I brought something up to my mom, and I was like, all these kids are athletically gifted, but they're not gonna ever have the stride to work as hard as me.
Right. It's like Rudy, but who could actually play football. Like, he was good and he had the heart, but he was getting pushed around. You're not getting pushed around.
Always you with movies.
I got to refer everything to a movie.
Because when I won my award from my school, what's it called? My coach was like, I didn't think you were gonna be good. I didn't think you had it in you. I thought you were gonna quit. But
you're not really much of a quitter.
No.
Lazy, don't want to do chores, but no quitter.
No. Once I'm doing it, I don't want to give up. Like,
right.
I step on a rock, I just keep pushing,
Rub some dirt on it. I can keep going.
But it's really mentality is what's really important. In mentality, athleticism, and strength is the three most important things in wrestling. Heart is the most important, though.
Yeah.
I was observing a match last Wednesday where there was this kid, heavyweight I think 215, was facing this big ripped football player. You can tell, and he was losing the whole time, and he had heart the whole way through. He just kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and to the point where he lost. But he
went the full.
He went to overtime.
Nice.
with this guy, and this kid was doing illegal moves and stuff, but he didn't care. He just kept having heart and stuff.
Do you think most kids would have just been like just rolled over and just took the pin and just got up?
Yeah, because he was so much bigger than him. He went out. I remember watching his first match on this Saturday tournament I went to with this kid so much bigger than him. He wrestled him. The first thing he did is he just pushed him out of the circle and kind of let him know who was boss.
All right.
And having heart is really important in the sport, because kind of like a Rocky moment when you're about to get pinned and you kind of get out of it and stuff.
Heart's what keeps you getting up. It says I'm down, but I can get back up.
But your athleticism helps on the way too, with not being able to get down.
Yeah, it'll help you physically get through it. The heart's gonna be like, I'm gonna get up, and so I don't die.
Because it was weird. Because I was in the high school room, and it was no athleticism at first, and it was all heart, because I had to get into shape to do it, and it was weird because we do these fun Fridays where they're not really fun. It's kind of torturing us and running and stuff.
Right.
These football kids, they're like, I'm skinnier. I play football, but how are you still outrunning me?
Right.
And it's just weird because wrestling is the best shape you'll ever get into.
Yeah, I bet. It's a very physical and demanding.
Very physical.
That's awesome. we're gonna have to deep dive on like where you learn this mentality, because
It's not from you.
in some things,
In some things, yes.
like some things, like right now, I'll probably dive into it more, but
I feel like you don't give up on the people you care about.
definitely not. But what's interesting right now is like at work, something happened probably right after we started the podcast where I got this like I have this itch where I'm like I want to do something big and something great. I got ideas, so I'm trying to implement some of these ideas at work. A lot of really fun, like
Like
groundbreaking. Just
the podcast you're saying necessarily,
there's I got a like a video project I'm working
like
on.
pushing content out,
I'm
pushing
just
content out.
something, yeah. Engagement is what we use in the business world, but a lot of really fun ideas, revolutionary type ideas. So it's a little bit weird up front. But what's nice is because I have the similar drive and that heart, I'm using that to like promote myself and then giving people the confidence to be like, I know what I'm doing. I have this vision, and it's kind of like where you're at, where like you talk about it, and then like the way I talk about it, I bring people in and be like, oh, I like that idea. Like it's crazy and weird, but let's see what happens. So I'm working on a couple of cool things with work. So
If we cut the other things short, I'll just tell where I got the mentality from because I know exactly where I got it from.
where'd you get it?
So it's weird. It was from the Rocky movies
Okay.
because it was just when I was getting into baseball, and like I watched the first 4 over here,
Mhm.
and then I watched Creed that same night. That was crazy. Those Saturdays I stayed over, those were
Right.
crazy. Um, just watching like because I didn't understand what was going on, but I could tell he was struggling.
Right.
And just seeing those scenes when he's like just struggling and just like pushing,
And then he was a nobody.
and he was a nobody, and then he came from nothing and came up and did it. And ever since I don't know, ever since really then, I just kind of told myself that I'd never give up, even if it was hard. Because there's always been a kid who's shed a tear at practice, or has been like I can't do it, or has like quit midway through. And the only time I've done that is when I thought my coach was disappointed in me because we were doing something really hard and he didn't put me in for something.
Right.
So I thought I was doing something wrong, and there's that one tear shed. And the other one was the hardest practice I've ever done, which was like running for like an hour and 30. And ever since then, I haven't shed a tear at practice. It was really weird because like now it feels like nothing when I'm running.
Right.
And that mentality of just keep
push,
going.
Just push and just drive, push.
Because like in my mind, it's like, I don't know how to say it. It's like, I always say like, you're not going to work harder than me. Even though you have the athletic gift or
Right.
whatever, you're not going to work as hard as me. I'm going to push myself to the limits. Even if you run faster, even if I'm slower, I'm still going to be pushing as hard as you.
There's a random quote. It is crazy how much we are influenced by movies, and that's, I think, I don't know if we ever posted it. We had a top 10, but we've talked about movies a lot, and it is fascinating how much movies like can impact you like that. It was kind of like with Creed, where my favorite moment of all of the Rocky movies that we were watching.
When he's down and he's like,
Yeah, like it was dark. You were sitting on the couch. I was sitting at my desk, and Creed, spoiler alert, goes down, and Liam's like, he watched Creed like upset. He doesn't know who his dad was, and there's like this struggle, and then Creed goes down, and Liam's like white knuckling the table. He's like, get up, and I hear him. He's like, get up, and then Creed jumps up, and Liam like jumps to his feet, and is like, ah! And I'm like, it's 11 o'clock at night. It's midnight, and he just screamed at this moment of this like Creed coming up, and it was just like Creed. He was down. He was beat. but he found that something, that heart, that pushed him to get up, and then he's just like, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep going.
My thought is when I'm down, it's me getting my hand raised at state.
Yeah.
It's like this hard work now, it's not going to compare to when I win everything.
Right. It's awesome to hear that you have that mindset already at 13. Like a lot of people don't get it until they take the easy route, and then they get all the awards in the lower tiers or the easy.
Because in one of the Rocky movies, when Mick dies, everyone knows the Rocky movies.
Yeah. 60-year-old spoiler alert. It's not 60, it's like 50 years old.
The song says, "There's no easy way out, and there's no shortcut home."
Right.
And he's just driving, and he's super sad, and like in wrestling it and in baseball, it translated. You're not gonna be able to take like easy shortcuts to get better.
Right.
You gotta go. You gotta eat better. You gotta train your body. You gotta train your mind. You gotta work on technique. And you can't have these shortcuts, or you're gonna be cheating yourself.
Right.
Because one of my big things my coach says is just don't cheat yourself. Mm-hmm. And that you could be like, you just need to push your hardest.
Right.
And it's weird how much these 4 movies just influence like everything.
Let's take a small step back. 2 movie recommendations for anybody listening who needs that little pick me up, that little inspiration. Do you have any
$1 Million
movies?
Baby.
What?
$1 Million Baby.
No. You've ever seen Hacksaw Ridge?
No.
Weirdly, along the same lines. World War I movie. Andrew Garfield, real religious. He doesn't touch guns. He wants to be a medic.
The Medic?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
And his whole thing was, I just need one more guy. I just need one more guy. And he would run back onto the battlefield. He would find one more guy, and he'd take him back. And then he just kept repeating that thing to him. I just need one more. I just need one more. And like that little mantra.
That one scene of just like, I need to go back.
I just need one more. And every time it was just one more after the one more after the one more. The movie was like okay, except for that last second half where you just see him like stick to his convictions of like I won't touch a gun, but he's up there by himself.
And
Everybody left him.
Doing anything to save these.
I'm
people.
not going to let my friends. This is what I did. This is why I joined the army. I want to be a medic. I'm going to get one more guy. I want to go back and get one more guy. And I love that. I know we keep mentioning it a couple of times. We did it with JJ. Into the Spider-Verse. Like, it's, when you watch it, you have all these Spider-Men from other multiverses.
In that scene where he looks up into the suit and he's like, I can do this.
Right. Well, and when you rewatch it, it's interesting because every time he sees a different Spider-Man, they're always knocking him down. And when you go deep dives on why they keep kicking him and pushing him down, is because that's what it is to be Spider-Man, is always get up. And Miles Morales for a second was like, I don't know if I can be a Spider-Man. And he realizes it's not about if I can, it's about getting up and doing your best. And I mean, it's a little corny, but when you kind of, JJ rewatched it, he says he loves it now. He kind of, he didn't understand what we were saying, but he absorbed enough of it to actually see what it is that we were saying. And he's like, oh, I like this movie now. Is there any other movies?
You mentioned Rudy.
I think Rudy's a good one. It's, if you're talking about heart and that mentality of just push and push and push, because he was always
with Major League.
How?
The Cleveland Guardians.
That was baseball.
The Indians now.
And was Charlie Sheen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a lot of sports movies, I guess, obviously. All right, very cool. So, all right, very cool. I love that you have that drive in something, and it's what's nice is you'll start to see it impact the rest of like your life, like wrestle, but then it's going to be like work, and then you're going to take that same mentality to your first and second job, and you're going to have that mindset of like, I'm not here just for the easy money. Like, I actually want to put in a quality work with whatever it is that I'm doing. So that's really cool. I'm happy for you. Proud of you.
Thank you. Whimsy. No, just kidding.
Let's see.
What do we do today?
Today was a fantastic day. I don't know what it was. It started off a little bit rough, but like you said, until you wake up, you're just a huge piece of crap. But
Hey,
10 o'clock,
I was feeling your arm this morning, so
yeah. You woke up right after. It was like 10 o'clock, and he was just like, "Hey, let me just rub your arm a little bit."
Because what happened? Okay, so you pick me up. I eat breakfast on the way.
Got Sophie.
Get Sophie on the drive back. Just go home.
We sat down. We played some video games. We watched a movie, and then I made lunch. And then Sophie's like, "I want to go to the store."
I'm gonna go to the store.
And I'm like, "What store?" She's like, "I don't care." And I'm like, "You're worse than your brother. Like, you don't want anything. You just want to go somewhere," which I'm totally fine with. But it's not just that, because once we get there, it's, "Can I have this? Can I have this? Can I have this?" And I'm like, Christmas is right around the corner. We got Santa coming. I got no more money. I don't want. But where'd we go?
We were gonna go to Dollar Tree. You're like, okay, let's go to the dollar store. D store. D store. That sounds pretty. And then we saw this garage sale sign, and then we circled our neighborhood like a couple times.
Right. Like, I don't want to spend money, but I'll go buy somebody's used stuff, I guess.
And then we turn in. You're like, you want to go to Savers? I'm like, what's that? And you're like, it's a cheap version of Goodwill. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then you're like, the first thing you said when we got out of the car was VHS.
I need a VCR.
Wah, wah, wah. VCR. Because your special your project. And you have these tapes you bought from eBay.
Yeah. So I was just buying old used VHSs, like home recordings.
Weddings, and stuff.
I'm looking for weddings. I found one, and I got a bid in on it, and they're only it's maybe $15 or $20, maybe. Like, I'm finding out, I'm paying $2 a tape right now. But I did find a bid or an auction for
MTV.
I have one that's MTV's 25th anniversary, but then the one I'm hoping to get and win literally has Doug and Diane's wedding, 1996. And I'm like, oh, how cool will that be? I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I have different ideas I want to try and do with some of this.
Well, that kind of just gave us a hint. We got there. There was a VCR player for cheap,
and it looked good. It didn't look like it was beat up, or it looked like it was for the most part taken care of. So we picked up the VCR player. Yeah, and then I got to get a couple of other things. I talked to Liam a little bit about it, and I think we're gonna plan. I don't know, definitely in the summer. We already started storyboarding some stuff, and he's gonna help be my cinematographer. We're working on some things, but I want to try and do something with the VHS. I have a couple of ideas. I got some hidden stuff Liam doesn't even know about yet. But yeah, it was really cool. We went to Savers, and I just happened to find the VHS that I've been looking for. Or the VHS.
Went in this toy aisle and played with Sophie. It's weird. She does what I do, and she just goes there and she just touches everything.
Touches everything and plays with everything there?
It's funny. And then we get to the cheap store. Dad, can I have this?
Right.
Then we actually went to Dollar Tree since it was just right across the street.
Right. I needed wrapping paper and stuff for Christmas.
And we were in there. You're like, okay, you can get a bunch of stuff. I'm happy.
Dude, I was so psyched of what I got at Savers. I was just like, oh, do whatever you want. I got what I needed at a significantly lower price than if I tried to go on eBay or offer up and find a VCR. So I was like, as far as I was concerned, I saved $40. I'm like, you can buy 3 things at the dollar store.
So Sophie got a little dentist kit.
Yeah, that was funny. She used it all day.
A lollipop.
That she didn't even eat.
I I got chips, energy drink, 2 chips and energy drink. You ate the chips because they were too
Barbecue.
yeah, pork rinds, and then cheese puffs, and then wrapping paper, and then a bag for your work, and then what do we do? We got home.
Play with some new toys.
4 wins today in Fortnite. My bad. Remember I got one earlier.
So what's going on in Fortnite? In case for all those people who obviously care listening to this, Fortnite. Yesterday.
Eminem event.
Yeah, new season.
It was such a bad event. They hyped it up so well, and there was only 2 Eminem songs.
It's kind of a cool trailer though.
Mm.
So with
Lego.
these new seasons and these big events, kind of launch the new season. And with the new season, what happens with the new season?
Lego, Guitar Hero, basically racing, and then the normal battle royale.
Like different skins, new world.
Lego definitely. It's called. What the trailer is, it says survival, crafting, and the racing game is a racing game, and then the other one is a band and it has the weekend on it,
Okay.
and I already did it. It was in the Eminem event. You had to press different things for different stuff. Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
And the normal battle royale with Family Guy in it now apparently.
Okay. Do you like the new layout of Fortnite?
I went off today with the gun, so yes, I do.
Like it was crazy.
We'll get to Fortnite. So I got
All right. Look at him directing us now. All right. I like it.
I got on Fortnite. I was just like, let's just get a win because I'm not good. So I got my first win, got the umbrella, thought it was cool. This was before Savers. I'm sorry. Played the dig game.
I don't think anybody's like. I don't think Liam played 4 games after Savers.
So then we played the dig game, and I got tired of it, and then we went to Savers and all that. Yeah. And then we got home.
We played some Pickle Ball.
Pickle Ball. Well, I sat in my room for a good chunk. Just like, I was like, Dad, I gotta check something.
You were blah for a minute. Like, you just didn't know what you wanted to do.
That was true.
And then we were just like, let's have some. I'm like, I'll make dinner. Then we went out and played pickleball
For like 4 hours. Not 4, 3.
It was probably. I played for 2, and then you played for another hour after the girls got here. But it was funny because
so at first we were just playing, and then we didn't tell Kelly, but Sophie got hit with an overhand bounce right to the nose.
Like he wound up. Like it was all slow motion. His
I
arm
jumped,
was swinging. He jumped and he was like spiking this thing down.
Bounce it, boom.
Obviously, like the second he hit it, he's like, I already know where this is going.
And then after that, we're like, it was dark out. You're like, this already sucks. Let's come up with a new thing. And you're like, let's play Ultimate Pickleball. And Ultimate Pickleball is the first rule was you can have 3 things that someone has to do.
So
it turns.
If you get a point, you get to make a rule.
But just tell the final result. So now you have 3 turns, and you can have 3 different things, but you can keep it, remove it, or if you lose the point, the other person gets it.
Oh, that sounds convoluted. All right, so I get a point. I get to make 1 rule. Give me an example of a rule that we came up with.
Squat. You have to squat and play.
All right. I did. Before you hit the ball, you have to name a prime number, and you can't repeat the prime number. So we're hitting it back. I'm like, 1.
I did 3s and 9s.
3 is not 9, 19.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 19s.
19.
The 29s and the.
So and it was just, it got dumber and dumber. Like you can't play. You have to play with your opposite hand.
You can only turn your back around when you hear the ball hit the paddle.
Right. So, it was this idea of pickleball in the driveway, and to make it ultimate, we just make these arbitrary rules to kind of handicap or make the other person at a disadvantage, and we would just back and forth, and we would stack different rules. Like it was so weird, but I think there was something there. I think if we kind of like ironed out like appropriate rules of like we had one one rule that was like, we can allow double bounces, or you have to. There was a mandatory one bounce, so it's kind of like, I don't think you've ever done it. In bowling, they have a 40 frame game, and what they do, it's one game. It's all 40 frames, but every frame has a different like task where it's like double points or like an extra mulligan, and then I forget what all the other ones were, but
Like you get to go again.
yeah.
I got that from Pokemon Trading Card Game.
So it was similar to that, and I'm like, everybody's always trying to like one up a game. So we're like, well, we can't drink, so we're just going to come up with these weird arbitrary games. And then we got the neighbor 2 over that are moving in, and they're just like, what the hell is going on over there? Because me and
9.
Liam or he hits it, and I'm like, you didn't say anything, you lose. And I was like, oh, it was so dumb.
And then the girls got here, and then I played with Megan for a little bit,
Right.
and then
Did she like it?
we changed it from Ultimate because she was kind of getting unfair with it with blindfold. So then I was like, let's just do Would You Rather for a little bit.
Right.
I ran down the street, went inside, kind of a hint, I don't want to play anymore.
Right.
And then I was like, Dad, play Fortnite with me, because we were already planning on doing that.
So you hooked me up on my Switch?
Okay, so the first game, those are pretty cool, laxed.
I didn't do anything. I got 1 kill.
You got 1 kill that I let you have.
Yeah, basically.
I remember saying, "Go get him, Dad," and then, 15 kills that game. It was kind of a laxed. You only saw a couple people,
Right.
and then
Game 2,
I got 23 kills that game.
and I got 4.
Yeah,
Like 4, like 2 legit ones, and then like a couple of like whatever ones. But
and I was hitting some crazy snipes. Because like you weren't watching me play, but like when you were watching me play, because I played 2-3 solos and I lost the first 2 and then I won the third one. You were watching me play and you're like boom, but like I played 0 build, so I just had the sniper out and I was just hitting people, because, and I killed Peter Griffin, you know, got the shotgun, and it's so funny hearing you watch me play, and I'm like, I do these moves like every other day. But it's like interesting to you.
right. Well, and what have we started it last week when Megan was here? What's my role when you play Fortnite?
You talk, I play.
Who am I? I'm your hype man. So
because the first game I played, I was playing with May, and I was like trying to be all cocky and stuff, and you were like, "Hey, sit back, I'll do the talking for you."
Right.
And that whole game, I was just like the most lax I've ever played.
Everything. It's funny because it's literally what we just started the episode about, which is like these guys that are cocky, and you were doing that, and I was like, Liam, you don't have to tell people you're good. You don't have to convince Megan that you're good. You just play. You do you. I'll do all the trash talk. And
I won the game.
And for 2 weeks, like, Megan talks some trash for a second, but then I get in there with your hype man. I'm like, yeah, you get him, and I'm helping you. Like, they're on the left, they're on the right. There's 2 over there, and you're like, I know. And I'm like, this is what I do. I don't know.
There's the person right there. I'm already shooting them.
But I like the way, like, and I've defended this for like 2 weeks now, and to a couple of people. Fortnite in video games, and people watching people play video games, is all trash and garbage. But if you watch the skill involved in the way that these kids play these games, like, Fortnite's a first-person shooter. You run around, you shoot people in the face. But there is a skill level involved in which Liam is, like, you're allowed to build walls. And the way that Liam plays the game is he sees somebody, he builds a wall to, like, protect him. And then it's like how fast he builds these walls and these little structures.
It's so funny, too, because you tried figuring it out. And you couldn't. You were so confused on how I did it.
Like, I get the concept of it. I just cannot figure out how to move my hands that fast. And then my eyes, I can't get to move around like that fast, and it's crazy. So like the game is garbage, but if you watch it from the standpoint of what he is actually doing, crazy, because he's seeing stuff before I even saw it. He's hitting people with like shots from a distance. He's building stuff. And then you build a wall and you can edit the wall. And then it was funny. Megan was like, Windows, Windows, and it is, again, it's a trash game, but there is a certain level of skill that you are significantly above
the modern player.
The average person I watch on YouTube does not do the builds that you're doing, and it's I hate it defending it because I am serious. I can appreciate a certain skill that's involved in you playing a stupid game, whereas most people are like, yeah, but it's just a stupid game.
It's crazy though, because it's online too. It's against people.
Right, like they have tournaments, they have world tournaments, they have $1 million tournaments, and it's like, if Epic is going to host a game with the top 200 players and offer hundreds and millions of dollars, it's not just a game at that point. If you want to be, with the new event came out, how many people are playing? Like 4.5 million people, and to be in the top 200 of 4 million people, you have to acknowledge that there is a certain level of skill in that. It's like any other sport. Snooker. It's a billiard game. It's like pool. It's done in England. It's a lot of balls and stuff. Like, it's not just...
No, that's why you like snooker.
I know. I love snooker so much. And
it's balls, that's why.
It's like, watch Ronnie O'Sullivan. And it's not just playing pool. It's the magic of how he can control and move the ball. And it's the same thing with Fortnite. There's a certain magic in which he's able to manipulate like these builds and these shots. I don't know. It's fascinating. I'm loving watching him. I like being your hype man. I think it's the coolest thing in the world because you do get to be able to take a step back and just focus on what you need to do to win.
It's so funny because I'm doing it at home now and I'm winning every other day. Like winning every other game.
But do you talk trash?
No.
You're focused.
I also feel like I was like, when people are like watching me play, I feel like I just like am better.
Yeah.
Because like, no offense, but I want my teammates to die sometimes, so they have to watch me. So like I'm playing with my friends and they're like, revive me. I'm like, there's a kid on me. They're like, there's no one near you. Oh, he died. Oh jeez.
I'm gonna hold my scam story for another week because I got some. Someone tried to scam me this week, so I'm trying to get it resolved. Once I get it resolved, I'll probably post it online, and then I'll go deep dive on it, so that way we have the full what happened, how did they try to scam me, how I caught them, and then how I got some justice. Hopefully I get justice for it. We also have Christmas coming up. We got, I think Liam wants to try and do some kind of Christmas themed episode. All right. I know I used to ask. I know most of you won't.
It'd be so good if we had your mom, grandma on this episode, on Christmas episode.
I doubt it. But
ask her in advance.
I'll ask in advance. People email ideas, suggestions, what you want to hear on our Christmas episode. We already have a general idea. I don't know. I'll throw it out there. I'm semi-cynical in that. I don't know if you guys will, but I think we're still going to have a really good episode. And we got some ideas. It probably sounds almost similar to the Halloween episode, but we're going to have fun with it. I think we're going to get everybody in the Christmas spirit. We'll have a good time with it. And
Whimsy.